How am I enjoying this game so far? That's a, I don't know, complicated answer? I don't... It's, yeah? I'm reasonably enjoying it. The first two cases were extremely silly. Third case here is less silly, but way more fetch questy. Yeah. I did appreciate, someone pointed out in chat that earlier when we were presenting evidence, it would have worked if we presented the photo or the key card. And like I thought about it, I'm like, the key card should totally apply, but I was too afraid that the game wasn't going to count it, so I didn't try, but someone verified that would have worked too. And I like it that the logic applied to both and the game actually recognized it this time. The first two chapters, it did not always recognize when things made perfect sense, but the game was looking for something else, and then it only gives you sadness. Mr. Wright. Yes. Why do you look so unhappy? Nothing. Really, it's nothing. Right, Mia? No, she looks even unhappier. Phoenix, your client is now practically a dead man walking. Perhaps that's why I feel particularly close to him. This is no time for dead people jokes, please. You know we're going into this trial utterly defenseless. Yet, if Mr. Powers is truly innocent, we should be able to find something overlooked in the evidence to prove it. Something overlooked? We have to find something, Phoenix, today. It's that, or lose the trial. This isn't going to be easy. Hey there's Alex. I feel like I'm supposed to be reading that out loud or something. The fact I can be used for this weekend, a lot more fun and easy to use for me, and I don't think you can be used for this weekend was great, and is now my room for a few weeks of school tomorrow, and I'm just like, you don't know. And there's this Chamber of Woods, see, and his wife, you know, her, tells the tree, but she gotta wait. And then I says that if you think I look like him, and if you think I'm gonna pay for this, then yeah. That's that. I think that's the logical continuation of that. I'm unhappy because I just realized I'm a terrible lawyer. He's getting a little more confident, maybe. The judge was a lot more confident this time around. The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. An unexpected fact has come to the attention of the court. Yesterday, we learned that there were other people present at the studios. Today, I would like to show evidence proving they had nothing to do with the murder. Very well. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. I wonder if that producer is going to come out. The prosecution calls Mr. Salmonella to the stand. Oh, damn it. Why are we calling him as a witness? Let's not worry about him. Let's call the other people. Or the director. Will the witness state his name and profession?
How rude can you get? You don't know me? I'm the director. I make the Steel Samurai, noob. Raffle.
Apparently Edgeworth has a 1,000-yard stare that is quite effective.
Salmonella. I'm a director. Television.
Were you at Global Studios on the day of the murder?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Please testify to the court about the events of that day.
Phoenix, let's start by picking this testimony apart. If Powers is innocent, you know what that means. Someone in the trailer on that day did it. Right. He doesn't waste any time putting on the pressure. Hey, JF Draken.
I was at the studios from around 9 o'clock that morning. During the morning, I was doing, an action scene run-through. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. I hear that everyone else ate lunch in the employee area. But I had a meeting in the Studio 2 trailer, so I ended up skipping lunch.
So we actually have Guard and Penny in this picture, which is not a real picture per se, but it's probably as good as real? I don't know. Maybe.
We were in the meeting until around 4 o'clock. During the meeting, well, I'm pretty sure no one had left their chairs. That's about it.
The time of Mr. Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. And according to your testimony, you were in a meeting at that time. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. A 1,000-yard stare that fixes lead speak. Yes, exactly. That's what I need for reading Homestuck. Is that when you always come in to work?
No. Oh, no. I come in all sorts of hours. It's the industry way.
Yeah, I know all about the freaks in your industry.
Still, for, FWIW, I was pretty busy all that day, sad face.
Tell us more about that. In the employee area.
That's right. It was a fight scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate.
Was anyone else at the run-through?
Oh yeah, the security lady was sitting there watching the whole thing, LOL. She was cheering on Hammer, if you can believe it.
She certainly has the lungs for it. Anyone else?
Nope, just us four.
So we're doing the action scene run through in the employee area in the morning. Why did it go on so long?
I'm pretty sure you've already heard about this. But WP twisted his ankle during the run-through, see?
Oh, right. That's the limp.
Which, of course, led to me missing my lunch. ROFS.
ROFS? The hell is ROFS? I can come up with a few things for FS. I'm not coming up with anything with the RO. Rolling on the floor sobbing. Or sweating, and sure, there you go. I don't... like, FS could be like for sure, or, okay, apparently... ROFS? Rolling on the floor... starving? I'm pretty sure that came from this game. I don't know. What exactly did they have for lunch?
T-bone steak. The assistant cooked some up.
Come to think of it, there's a plate with some bones on it in the employee area. Everyone else, meaning that the witness did not eat with them. So, in the end, you didn't get to eat?
Yeah, no steak at least. Can you believe it?
That must have been tough. Phoenix? Yeah? Doesn't something about that seem odd to you? That one right there? It is vague. It doesn't seem contradictory. Although I thought they just said they were in the employee area earlier, but that's separate. Actually, there is something bothering me. Mr. Manella, just now you said steak at least. So you ate something other than steak.
Yeah, good call. I had some chocolate in my pocket, which I used to stave off starvation.
I see. Is that all? I was sure I was onto something there. You didn't take a single break?
Well, yeah, not a one.
What's he sweating so much about, I wonder? Maybe it's the obvious cover-up in the fact that people were all asked to not talk about things, and even our client that is on trial for murder refused to say things, until pressed. If only I had some idea what it could be. I'll wait for one to come up and hit him with it later. Phoenix, if his alibi holds, Powers is finished. Press him as hard as you can and find out where he's lying. Right. And this was at the employee area? I hear that everyone else got to eat steaks. Welcome back, Aaron. Maybe. I don't actually know why it's contradictory, but apparently that's what I'm supposed to click. Yeah, it does seem odd now that you mention it. Mr. Manella.
What you mean?
When I went to that trailer, I saw something on the table. There were 2 plates on the table. Same kind of plates as in the employee area. Who ate lunch there?
Good call. I was embarrassed, so I didn't mention it. But I did eat, after all.
A T-bone steak, you mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, the assistant went through all that trouble. I brought it to the trailer, thinking I could eat it later.
Clearly a man who likes to eat. I'd suspected as much. So, when exactly did you eat it?
We took one break during that meeting. I wolfed it down then.
Mental image I will carry with me to the grave. Wait a second. Yeah. They took a break in that meeting. That contradicts his testimony. I'll press on that one a bit more. What were you discussing?
The Steel Samurai story, and our budget. Get this, the sponsors turn to me and say, Mr. Manila, those scripts of yours are not appropriate for children. Can you believe it?
Actually, I kinda can. So nobody left the table during the whole meeting. You didn't take a single break, you said.
Well...
Wait a second. Maybe I do have an idea. Wait a second. Mr. Manila, you've just contradicted yourself. Didn't you just tell the court that you ate the T-bone steak during a break?
Ruffle.
Well?
Mr. Manila, what's all this about?
Well, yeah. I guess that we did take a little break.
Phoenix, great job. If they took a break, one of them could have gone to the studio during that time.
Your Honor, I call on the witness to testify to the court about this break.
Very well. Mr. Manila, your testimony, please.
No, Edgeworth is laughing.
Yeah, FWIW, we took a break, Ruffle. But it was only 15 minutes. 15. That's only 13 in base 12. Not enough time for someone to say, commit murder in Studio 1, lol. That's only just enough time to eat a T-bone steak, if you ask me.
I don't think it would be even enough time for that, but that's just me. Very well. You may begin the cross-examination.
None of the witnesses ever care it's a murder trial. What time exactly did you take this break?
I'd say it's around 2:30 or so until 2:45, thereabouts.
2:30. That's the time of death. So he could have gone to Studio 1, killed Hammer, and come back. Guess it's possible, time-wise. Edgeworth is like ready to object. What were you doing for those 15 minutes?
Eating my T-bone steak. What else?
There were 2 plates on the trailer table?
Oh, right. The other one was Diva's. Sorry. Diva Skis' plate.
Diva Squeeze, the producer. To eat a T-bone steak in 15 minutes. That's quite a feat. Why is that? Haven't we had enough of this pointless line of questioning? Your Honor, the testimony to this point has made one certain fact painfully clear. The people in the trailer had nothing to do with this murder. It was impossible for any of them to go to Studio 1. What? Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Surely you aren't suggesting one of the people in the trailer went to Studio 1.
Well, Mr. Wright.
Phoenix, this is critical. Think about it before you give an answer.
You claim someone from the trailer went to Studio 1.
2:30? It was 2:15 that the clock broke, right? So we just actually say it's impossible, you know? Obviously Edgeworth knows about this. Hey, Dr. Cliché. Someone from the trailer of Studio One. Hey, MTG Gamer. So, based on the logic of this world that apparently you can't like climb over things, the only other way I guess would be the gate. Does that get back to Studio One though? Because they could take the car out through the gate or something, but. That's not much time, especially if the area is blocked.
I don't want to write off so many possible suspects, but I can't keep claiming the impossible either.
I agree that it was impossible for anyone in the trailer to go to the studio in that time. Haha! I thought you might be thoughtlessly treading on thin ice again, but I see you had at least an inkling of the truth.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's quite simple. True, the break in the trailer meeting came right at the time of death. However, the path from there to the scene of the crime was blocked. The fallen Mrs. Monkeyhead barred the way. Mrs. Monkeyhead? At around 2:15, a strong gust of wind knocked off the studio mascot's head. I thought it was the tree that knocked it over. Ergo, when the people in the trailer took a break at 2:30, the way to the studio was blocked. Blocked by Mrs. Monkey's severed head.
It's actually Mr. Monkey, but Edgeworth has a point. And somehow, I feel no desire to correct him.
I believe we have seen enough evidence. I would like to relieve Mr. Manella from the stand.
What? It's over?
Very well. The court's opinion on this case is as follows. We have found that there were several other people in Studio 2 on the day of the murder. However, it is also clear that none of these people could have gone to Studio 1. They therefore have no relation to this case. Furthermore, with regards to the photo of the Steel Samurai, given the size of the costume, no one other than Mr. Powers could have worn it that day. All that is lacking is decisive evidence that he is the one who did it. If we had that, I'm afraid I would have to find Mr. Powers guilty. Because now that we're into case 3, we actually require evidence to find people guilty all of a sudden. It's quite a change from the past. I remember back in the day when we would just assume everyone was guilty of murder.
Your Honor, the prosecution is pleased to announce that we indeed have decisive evidence. A witness.
Who was this witness, Mr. Edgeworth?
My witness saw the very moment when the Steel Samurai skewered the victim.
Order! I will have order! I have to announce this at least twice per trial day because that's how they do it in the movies. I see. The court will take a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear your witness. Court is adjourned for recess.
Yay, recess. Let's go play on the swings, guys.
What do we do now, Mia? If everyone in that trailer has an alibi.
I'm sorry, Phoenix. I guess I was wrong. Mia! Don't tell me you're giving up. If you give up, what hope do I have? Don't get me wrong. I've never given up on a trial before. Not while there was ever a chance. Only one thing became clear in your cross-examination. The people in the trailer could not have gone to Studio One. I thought there was more to it than that. But I was wrong. That's all there is.
What's going to happen to me?
It kind of seems like everyone in that courtroom thinks I did it. They think that I'm a murderer. Don't worry, Mr. Powers. If you're innocent, we will prove it. I guarantee it. Leave it to us and be yourself. Be strong. You are the Steel Samurai, hero to children everywhere, after all. Thanks. Okay, Phoenix. This one's for the kids. Let's do it.
$11:15. Back to court. Recess is over.
Court is back in session for the trial of Mr. Will Bounds.
The prosecution has a concern. As our witness is a grade schooler of tender years, and this is a murder case, we worry that the defense might cause unnecessary trauma with his cruel questioning.
Nice to see Edgeworth taking the moral high ground.
However, we have no choice. The prosecution calls Cody Hackins to the stand. Your Honor, perhaps you could arrange for a box for him to stand on.
Right. God, please bring him a box. One of those donut crates should do.
Donut crates? Will the witness state his name and grade in school? Witness!
What? Just because you're all grown up don't mean you can push me around.
Cody, answer his question, okay?
Hey, it's you, the nice lady. I'm Cody Hackins. I'm in 2nd grade.
I get the feeling this is going to be a long, long day.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember that you're speaking to a child. Try to be gentle.
Witness. Cody.
He's having trouble with this gentle thing.
You were present, you were at Global Studios on the day of the, incident.
You got a problem with that?
Please tell us what you saw that day.
What, Pops? You want me to tell you and Gramps with the beard over there?
Just Mr. Edgeworth would be fine.
I prefer a distinguished gentleman myself.
A very long day.
Incidentally, photographic equipment is strictly forbidden in this courtroom.
My apologies, Your Honor. He said he wouldn't testify if he couldn't bring it. I'd like special permission, if that's possible. Wait, so you're saying you had to bargain terms with a kid, and you lost?
Hey! Hey! I just got this new camera. Don't really know how to use it all that good yet, but I bring it with me wherever I go. Phoenix, I wonder if he had that camera on the day of the murder. You better make a note of it in the court record.
Very well, Cody. Please testify to the court about what you saw the day of the incident.
Hey, not a meth addict. Cameras are forbidden, but swords are fine, yeah.
I wanted to see a Steel Samurai rehearsal, just once. I found a map on the internet and went to the studios that day. I went through the woods off the path, so that old lady wouldn't catch me. I was going for the studio. I got kinda lost on the way though, for about 30 minutes. When I came out by the studio, there was the Steel Samurai. It totally rocked. Right before my eyes, out came the bad guy. Of course, the Steel Samurai took him down. Pow! If I had my camera with me, that would have been the time for a shot, I tell you.
Why did you have your camera with you?
Anyway, I couldn't get in the studio, so I went home.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. And be gentle. Remember, you're talking to a child.
This kid is tougher than most adults we see in here, honestly.
If you had your camera? You mean you weren't carrying your camera then?
No, I wasn't. It's not like I have it all the time.
Really? I guess seeing the killing freaked him out and he went home.
Phoenix, remember, he's a child. Use gentle words, but be firm.
Easy for you to say. So how'd you get lost? You got lost in the woods.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out which way I was walking. Man, was I relieved when I saw the blue studio doors. But guess what happened next?
The Steel Samurai.
Yeah, he was standing by the studio gate. It looked like he was thinking about something before going in. Then he opened up the gate and went inside.
I see. What then? What sort of bad guy was it?
A guy. A person. Kinda tall. Skinny.
Are you sure it was a guy?
I don't know. He was kinda far away.
Huh. He's being awfully vague. Because he's a dryad, that's why he could go through the woods. What happened to the bad guy?
Huh? Well, he kinda didn't move. Not a bit. Like he was dead. I guess he's a real pro. What a great actor.
Yes, I suppose he was. Past tense.
You really like the Steel Samurai, huh?
Of course I do. I've taped every show, and I go to all the live performances.
That's impressive. Have you been to the amusement park?
Of course, duh. My dad always takes me.
Poor Dad. Was that day the first time you'd been to the studio?
Actually, I've been a couple times before. I never managed to get there on rehearsal day. And that security lady's always yelling.
Right. Please continue.
Chill, Pops. I'm getting to it. How am I supposed to talk with you cutting me off all the time? Jeez.
Off the path.
Yeah. You know how the studios are in the valley down there? If you go off the path a little, there's woods. That's where I was.
I see.
Anywho.
Did nothing unusual happen on your way to the studio?
Unusual?
Did you see this monkey by any chance?
Oh, you mean Mr. Monkey? Yeah, I saw him, but his head wasn't busted.
So you went straight to the studio.
Yeah, you just throw Edgeworth off his game with a child sidekick. OP. So, wasn't busted yet, but that makes sense. Mostly. The head wasn't busted 30 minutes before the murder, Grimes, which it shouldn't have been, because the murder's at 2:30 and the head was busted at 2:15. So that actually adds up normally. Let's take a look at what all we got here. It's not going to indicate any, like, going off the grid here. There's Sam Lander. It seems a little sketch that he got lost when he'd been there multiple times before. Can I, like, press this again?
explains... Wait, no, he was caught on camera. Never mind. I actually forgot that he was actually caught on camera. We don't have thing, like, to reference that, but, it's... Not really. Let's see. Oh, this was at 2 o'clock. That was at 2 o'clock. So he runs through here, goes off the path a little. And the kid hadn't seen the Steel Samurai walking with a limp. Like, he didn't see him, even though that was at 2. I don't see any way to actually, like, point that out, though. Like, there's nothing to directly link that to. By the studio, there's the Steel Samurai. So he opened up the gate. Went inside. So this happened outside the studio, right? Does the autopsy say something like inside the studio or anything? No. Like, I want to point out the fact that everyone assumes he died inside the studio, and this is saying that he died outside the studio. Because otherwise he couldn't have seen it, but how am I supposed to point that out? Like, that's what I want to ask about. I don't see any way to actually ask about that, though. I mean, I could check camera against this, but he already explained why that he doesn't always carry his camera with him or whatever. Seemed like slightly suspect with it, but nothing too crazy. That's really the best thing I have to go on right now, though, is just ask him further about the camera? Because I don't... There's other things I really want to say, but I don't see any way to do it. I guess? Cody, what you just said seems, well, a little strange. Didn't you say before that you always bring your digital camera wherever you go? You were quite clear about that. Dead face. Huh? Cody, you shouldn't lie here. You understand that, right?
Mr. Wright, a word with you.
Uh-oh. Is it putting the pressure on too much?
What is this digital camera contraption you're talking about?
It's, a digital camera, Your Honor. It's kind of a new sort of camera. How do I explain that?
I see.
Anyway, Cody, I can't believe you wouldn't bring your camera on a trip to the studios. You did bring it, didn't you? Mr. Wright, how cruel you are to terrorize a poor child so. I don't care if he's a child or a prosecuting attorney. No one should lie in court. What do you mean, or a prosecuting attorney? Well, Cody? What? Yeah, so I had my camera. So what? You got a problem with that?
So, you did have a camera. And did you use this camera?
What? Why would I use it? I was too busy watching.
Very well. Please testify to the court about what you were so busy watching.
Yeah, I had my camera with me, but I was glued to the action. I couldn't take my eyes off it. The Steel Samurai, he goes for the bad guy, wham! Then the bad guy stopped moving. He's so strong. The Steel Samurai rules.
Ah, is that all? Well, that was brief. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
So, why didn't you use it? He's getting to that. Relax and listen. I didn't use it because I was too busy watching the real thing. So you were watching the Steel Samurai. Did you watch the whole fight? Yeah, of course. You didn't turn away, not even once. No. Okay, then tell us exactly what happened. Yeah, I'm getting to that. So the bad guy attacked him first? Yeah. What sort of person was this bad guy? I told you, a person. He was a person. How was he dressed? I don't remember. I was too busy watching the Steel Samurai. I see. And what happened next? Why? Huh? What do you mean, why? Why wasn't the bad guy moving?
Well, because the Steel Samurai brought him to justice.
And how exactly did he do that?
How did he do it? With a samurai kick, and a samurai punch, samurai chop, samurai slap! Something like that.
He's still being very vague about this. And we're not talking about a spear.
What? Don't give me that look, Pops.